I know a lot of people would probably wonder, why beer? If you're going to do a travel vlog, just do a travel vlog. Focus on the destinations. Well, that is a question, and first, I really do think there should be a focus more to vlogs than what some people do. A lot of people have just fun travel, seeing all the different things that areas have to offer. And it's a great thing to do. I love it too. But I think it also, having a point kind of anchors you to something to fall back on. And plus, no matter where you go, you can get a beer. And I think with how craft beer is exploding, it's a great way to talk and bond over what you have done. Let me explain. The most common way people have bonded over the years has been through a meal or drinking. Sitting down and sharing food and drink is as old as people themselves. Just think of Thanksgiving. It's a tradition even today, with the most important state meetings usually revolving around a state dinner. Happens all the time. At a state of another country comes over, they usually have a state dinner. It's a way to share, to promote friendship and understanding. But rather than do food, which everybody has their own unique tastes, and the same thing with beer, but I think drink is more to the point. That's the first step. How many relationships, friendships have all started with, can I get you something to drink? I can't remember how many times I've had great times just over having a drink with a friend or new people that I've just met. It's a great thing to discuss, argue, share moments over. Even people who are debating, you'll notice they have a drink with them, usually water, but I think debates would be far more interesting if people were drinking beer. Just look at all the events and travel throughout your life. Here are a few that I've had. What a great time to sit, look, and reflect over them with a beer in the hand. I mean, I've been a number of places. I'm not the most traveled, and I'm not the least either. It's a beer that can help bond them all. Now, there are a few places which are dry countries, and now at some point I'll talk about those. But everywhere you go, there's usually a place where you can get a beer, and they all taste different to some degree. No beer made any one area is ever the same to another area. I'll explain that too at some point. I just think beer has an advantage over many other drinks. It just seems to have that right balance. It can be drank at work. There's even terms for this, like session beer. Just look at phrases, like how beer and bread built the pyramids. That's actually true. It's also an after-work beverage, celebration beverage, the unwinding beverage, the I'm annoyed at the world beverage. It just always works in all the situations. Not every other drink does that. Think about champagne. It's great for those celebrations that you toast, but you might reach for a beer afterwards. Wine goes great with meals, but I just don't know how many people who go to a sports game and crack open wine. Or you're having a barbecue out with friends. Rarely wine. Wine just doesn't seem to fit. Beer seems to fit in any situation. And with craft beer, there are so many different variations to choose from. These are great things to drink and bond over. And this is kind of what it's about. Is not only will I be traveling across the country, talking over a beer. So beer won't be the primary focus. There will be other things we talk about. It's that stitching which can connect us to a greater whole, a greater story which we can all share and learn together. I'm not trying to be too grandiose here, but it can get that way when celebrating together. This is more of how this channel is going to be going. To show the side of beer, how it's more of a community drink. How it's not a drink just for beer snobs and beer nerds. It's something you can drink with anyone. And you can interconnect so much more with people, and you can discuss any topic calmly over it. There's so many different styles and flavors, and it's hard to know who's doing the next great thing. You can read all the beer magazines and still not know that someone's coming up with something unusual you never thought of before. And that's the point. It's a point to taste and learn, and to find everything you can. So raise in a glass, find a brew you never knew before, and to make some memories that you can always remember. Thank you for watching.